Princess Anne, I know she's representing the Queen.
She's incredibly hard-working. She knows exactly everything about her organisations.
Queen, she said she should be Queen Consort. Now suddenly, she's now going to be Queen. And it's very difficult because a lot of people have told me they're unhappy about it, so I'm not surprised by the
Queen Camilla's reign has been controversial from the very start, but now palace insiders are whispering that her time at the very top might be ending, with King Charles under immense pressure and Princess Anne moving into a more powerful position behind the scenes. The royal power balance is definitely shifting. Tensions are boiling over, loyalties are being tested, and everyone is watching for what happens next. For Camilla, the solid support she once had is starting to crumble. So what caused this shocking turning point, and what is Princess Anne's real role in all of this? Stick with us as we reveal why it could genuinely be over for Queen Camilla. This is the shocking truth. So it all reportedly kicked off at a recent gathering at Balmoral. Princess Anne, who is famously blunt, dropped an absolute bombshell on Camilla. The conversation was supposed to be about a slimmed-down monarchy, but Anne, being very tactful of course, said she didn't really see the point. What she really meant was, the monarchy is now so slimmed down, it's practically invisible. But during that talk, Anne revealed that Queen. Elizabeth had never truly wanted Camilla to become the Queen. The late monarch always saw Princess Kate in that role, believing she possessed the grace and elegance that the job demands, and that was just for starters. Anne then allegedly went even further, claiming that Queen Elizabeth couldn't bear Camilla and only approved her title of Queen Consort as part of a secret deal that was brokered behind closed doors. So now Camilla is the Queen, sort of. The new king's wife has now become the Queen Consort. But that's not the whole story. In fact, things get a whole lot messier. So stick around to the end of this video for the complete story. Now, as new details are emerging, it seems King Charles allegedly used Prince Andrew's connection to Jeffrey Epstein as a bargaining chip to get his mother's blessing. When we talk about a royal power move, this is a perfect example because at that time Charles desperately needed the Queen's public endorsement for Camilla just before her Platinum Jubilee. But Queen Elizabeth, who was always a master strategist, knew that making Camilla a queen was never going to be a popular decision. The initial plan was for her to be known as Princess Consort, not Queen. But with Andrew's scandal threatening to plunge the monarchy into even deeper chaos, Charles saw his chance. He allegedly persuaded his mother to support Camilla's new title in return for him dealing with the Andrew problem. Now, all these years later, Camilla is still reeling from that truth. The knowledge that Queen Elizabeth never truly wanted her and only gave her blessing for political reasons has left a very deep wound, with Princess Anne spilling the royal family's biggest secrets. It is obvious the power games inside the palace are nowhere near finished. But the main question on every royal fan's mind is this: why is Princess Anne the one to reveal all this right now? Why choose this specific moment to bring it all up? Is there some old score to settle between her and Camilla, or is there an even bigger game being played? It's hardly a secret that Anne and Camilla have had a difficult relationship for decades, with animosity just simmering under the surface. This entire drama now creates an interesting contrast because while Camilla's position in the royal family was apparently met with serious hesitation, Queen Elizabeth's love for Princess Kate was absolutely clear. In fact, if there's one person the late Queen truly adored, it was Kate Middleton. She viewed her as the ideal future Queen Consort, and this admiration wasn't new. It actually began all the way back in 2006. Queen Elizabeth had a fondness for Kate right from the beginning, so much so that while Kate and William were dating, she invited her to Christmas at Sandringham. That one gesture was a massive honour for someone not yet married into the firm, but Kate, ever respectful of protocol, gracefully declined the offer. She was only 24 years old and understood that without an engagement ring she didn't have an official spot at the family's private celebrations. That thoughtful patience was rewarded. In the years after, she not only married William, but she also became one of the most cherished members of the entire royal family. Now here is where the story gets really juicy, because Queen Camilla certainly saw Kate's rising popularity, and she was not exactly a fan. Word is, Camilla has never believed Princess Catherine was the proper match for William or for the monarchy's future. According to royal biographer Christopher Anderson, Camilla was less than pleased when William and Kate became a couple. In fact, she was reportedly dead set against their relationship. Anderson is the author of The King, the Life of Charles III. He also reports that Camilla did not feel Kate was their social equal and considered her an outsider. Kate, of course, came from an upper middle-class family, which, in Camilla's mind, made her totally wrong for a future king. But was Camilla's disapproval really just about class, or was she actually afraid of losing her own standing with Charles and her place in the family's future? Whatever her reasons, the animosity between these two powerful women has been bubbling just beneath the surface for many years. Now, with Princess Anne throwing gasoline on the fire, this royal drama is heating up. But here's the real shock. Anne is not the only royal who has had issues with Camilla. Actually, a large part of the royal family has felt the exact same way, including Prince William. And if you think it's only because of some recent comments Camilla made about Catherine's illness, you are mistaken. Has the dynamic between Queen Camilla and Princess Catherine soured? Here's the reason why. A tense exchange between them at Queen Elizabeth II's funeral got everyone talking. The bad blood between William and Camilla goes much deeper, starting all the way back in his childhood. This long simmering tension was thrown into the spotlight when Prince Harry pulled back the curtain in his tell-all book, Spare. According to Harry, William never really accepted Camilla. He barely tolerated her. And incredibly, Camilla was said to be a bit scared of William. That is just how tense their relationship was. But wait, there's more. Harry wrote that both he and William begged their father now, King Charles III, not to marry Camilla. But what was behind their plea? Camilla had a reputation for leaking private family stories to the tabloids. In his book, Harry admitted he was scared she'd turn into the classic wicked stepmother. And considering their traumatic past, that fear was completely justified. You see, to truly understand all this, we need to go back. Let's go back to where this all started, the affair, the tangled relationship between Charles and Camilla. You see, the 1980s and 90s were an emotional minefield. It was constantly on again, off again, and always controversial. Princess Diana famously exposed the emotional damage during her Panorama interview, declaring, "There were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded." She was asked if Mrs. Parker Bowles was a factor in her marriage's breakdown. "There were 3 of us in this marriage." Then came the absolute heartbreak of 1997. Diana's tragic death in a car crash devastated the world, leaving William and Harry without their beloved mother. In the midst of that trauma, Charles's push to formalise his relationship with Camilla only made the rift with his sons deeper. His sons. Despite their very clear objections, Charles pushed ahead. In 2005, the two married, and William and Harry, with dignity, offered their father their blessing, at least in public. But while Harry's resentment simmered for years, William's stance seemed to soften over time, especially after Harry stepped back from his royal duties in 2020. You'll remember Prince Harry and his wife Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, announcing their plan to step away as senior royals. Reports began to suggest that William and Camilla had started to build a delicate, if uneasy, peace, but, according to some sources, that truce was not an easy one. Both William and Harry reportedly struggled to trust Camilla, still feeling the heavy weight of loyalty to their mother. They never really formed a close bond with her, never confiding in her the way they might have with other family members. But, surprisingly, one person played a key role in easing that tension. Princess Kate, despite Camilla's previous remarks about her Kate, remained poised, respectful and gracious. her calming influence reportedly helped smooth over those lingering conflicts and opened the door for more civil interactions between William and Camilla. For a while it truly seemed like the worst was behind them. A fragile peace settled over the fractured family, but that moment of peace was short-lived because of Princess Anne. Stay tuned to find out what happened next with the ongoing rivalry between Anne and Camilla, stirring up old tensions with the weight of history hanging over them. The real question now is how long can this royal peace actually last? Because even though things between Princess Catherine and Queen Camilla seem patched up, there's another royal rivalry that refuses to die. Princess Anne and Camilla. This one has roots so deep that even time hasn't been able to smooth things over. Back in 2005, when Prince Charles married Camilla, Parker Bowles, Queen Elizabeth II, took a very unusual step. She had her private secretary draft a special document ensuring Princess Anne would never have to curtsy to Camilla. A former courtier revealed this was no casual decision. It was done because Princess Anne and Princess Alexandra had absolutely no intention of bowing to someone they considered undeserving of that honour. In their eyes, Camilla was deeply unpopular, and Anne made it clear that she had zero plans of curtsying to her brother's new wife. But why was Anne so incredibly adamant about this? Well, it all came down to something rather juicy. Their complicated history goes all the way back to the 1970s, when Camilla was in an on-again, off-again relationship with Andrew Parker Bowles. But here's the twist. While Camilla was dating Andrew, Andrew was also romantically involved with Princess Anne. So instead of a messy love triangle, we had a full-blown royal love rectangle. If this sounds like the kind of scandal made for television, that's because it was. The show The Crown even brought this drama to life in Season 3, reigniting interest in their long-running feud. According to palace insiders, the bitterness between Anne and Camilla never really went away. The tension has lingered for decades, resurfacing now and then like an old wound that refuses to heal. And make no mistake, there's no chance these two will ever be best friends. But if you look at their recent public appearances, it seems things have taken an unexpected turn, at least on the surface. Just this past November, in a surprising display of unity, Princess Anne presented Camilla with an honorary doctorate of literature from the University of London. The two even travelled to the event in the same car, looking friendlier than ever, as the university's long-serving chancellor praised Camilla's contributions to literacy with her Queen's Reading Room initiative. In a fascinating twist of irony, it was Camilla who had to kneel before Anne to receive the honour. This moment was a world away from their tense history, especially considering how their personal lives were once so entangled. A complicated history of relationships. When Anne first began seeing Andrew Parker Bowles, he already had quite a reputation as a ladies' man. According to royal biographer Penny Junor, Andrew was known to be unfaithful and had a habit of being involved with many women, including some of Anne's own friends. But here's the truly shocking part. When Camilla first met Prince Charles, she knew full well that Andrew was also seeing Anne. Instead of stepping aside, she decided to teach Andrew a lesson by beginning her own affair with Charles. What followed was a series of love affairs that would shape the very course of royal history. Camilla and Charles's romance was shut down early on because the royal family didn't view her as a suitable match for a future king. Meanwhile, Anne's relationship with Andrew was doomed for a totally different reason: royal protocol, because Andrew Parker Bowles was Catholic. The Act of Settlement of 1701 made it impossible for him to marry a senior member of the royal family. At the time, Anne was fourth in line to the throne, and likely knew there was no way their relationship would ever be allowed to progress. But knowing that didn't make the heartbreak any easier when Andrew broke things off in 1973 and announced his engagement to Camilla. Anne was reportedly left devastated. Heartbroken and possibly looking for stability, Anne moved on quickly and married cavalry officer Captain Mark Phillips. But just because Princess Anne is a royal that doesn't make her immune to rocky romances. Case in point, her first marriage to Captain Mark Phillips. The marriage looked promising at first, but in reality it was far from perfect. The cracks began to show, and by 1992 Anne and Mark officially divorced after years of rumoured infidelities on both sides. And here comes another twist. According to biographer Sally Bedell Smith, one of Anne's alleged lovers during her marriage was none other than Andrew Parker Bowles. As history tells it, Charles and Camilla finally married in 2005, cementing a love story that had stretched across decades of scandal. But Anne and Andrew, well, their story is something else entirely, and it's far from over. In fact, it just gets more complicated. This tangled web of royal affairs remains fascinating, with deep-seated tensions and a shared history shaping their dynamics even today. Just imagine Andrew Parker Bowles staying close to both Anne and Camilla despite their complicated past had to be an ongoing source of unspoken friction even after he married Camilla. Whispers never stopped that Anne's feelings for Andrew never really faded away. Yet, despite their history, Andrew remained one of Anne's most trusted confidants. He even became the godfather to her daughter, Zara Tyndall, just as King Charles serves as godfather to Andrew and Camilla's son, Tom Parker Bowles. According to royal author Sally Bedell Smith, the bond between Anne and Andrew was far deeper than just a friendship. Even after their romance ended, they stayed deeply connected, and rumours swirled that their close bond might have continued on behind closed doors even after they both got married. And while Camilla may have ultimately won Prince Charles's heart, Anne's unwavering position in royal circles and her status as the Queen's only daughter always seemed to give her the upper hand in their silent rivalry. For Camilla, who faced years of public judgment as the so-called other woman, Anne's confidence and her flawless royal pedigree likely added yet another layer of tension to their already difficult dynamic. And then there's the legacy of Kate Middleton, while Queen Camilla and Princess Anne have long since settled into their roles within the monarchy. Catherine, the Princess of Wales, better known to the world as Kate Middleton, is continuing to build a legacy that is all her own. Often compared to Princess Diana and Queen Elizabeth II, Kate has become a royal icon not because she copies them, but because she brings her own unique grace, strength and realness to the role. Born Catherine Elizabeth Middleton on January 9th, 1982 at the Royal Berkshire Hospital in Reading, Kate was raised in an upper-middle-class family. Her father, Michael, came from a line with aristocratic connections, while her mother, Carol, came from working-class roots. The two met working at British Airways and later created the successful company Party Pieces, which gave Kate a front row seat to witness entrepreneurship and hard work firsthand. Kate's early life was kept relatively private. When she was just 2 years old, her family moved to Jordan for her father's job. She attended an English-language nursery school there before the family returned to Berkshire in 1986. She then enrolled at St Andrew's School, followed by Marlborough College, where she shined academically and in sports. Kate was the captain of the girls' field hockey team and took part in outdoor expeditions, even earning the prestigious Gold Duke of Edinburgh award. Early hints of the dedication she would later bring to royal life. Rather than going straight to university, Kate took a gap year that truly showcased her adventurous spirit. She studied at the British Institute in Florence, volunteered in Chile with Raleigh International, and even spent time working as a deckhand at the port of Southampton. This strong sense of independence and curiosity truly defined her path long before she ever stepped into the royal spotlight. In 2001, Kate enrolled at the University of St Andrews in Scotland initially, studying psychology before making the switch to art history. It was there she met Prince William. The two were housemates at St Salvador's Hall and were friends before. Romance sparked in 2002 after Kate's now famous walk down the runway in a charity fashion show. By 2003, their relationship was public, and despite the ups and downs including a short split in 2007, they always stayed committed. But the story didn't end there. Kate's years after university were anything but typical. While the media relentlessly guessed about an engagement, she was working part-time as an accessories buyer for Jigsaw and also supporting her family's business by maintaining their website and helping with event planning. The couple was under intense media scrutiny, but Kate always remained graceful, her presence at key. Royal events like William's passing out parade at Sandhurst was a clear sign she was becoming a royal in everything but the title. Their engagement finally arrived in October 2010 during a trip to the Liwa Wildlife Conservancy in Kenya. William proposed in a secluded cabin on Mount Kenya, offering Kate the sapphire and diamond ring that had once belonged to his mother, Princess Diana. The engagement was announced to the world in November, and the couple instantly became global. Media sensations. Kate was confirmed into the Church of England in March 2011 at St James's Palace, a symbolic move toward her royal future. On April 29th, 2011, the entire world watched her marry Prince William at Westminster Abbey in a ceremony full of symbolism, history, and modern touches. Her wedding gown, created by Sarah Burton for Alexander McQueen, became an instant icon. Following the marriage, she was given the title Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Cambridge. The Queen also gifted them Anne Hall, a country residence on the Sandringham estate. Kate adapted flawlessly to royal life. After short stays at Nottingham Cottage and an apartment in Chelsea, she and William moved into apartment 1A at Kensington Palace in 2013 following extensive renovations. Later on, they made Adelaide Cottage in Windsor their main family home. The couple then welcomed their first child, Prince George, in July of 2013. A protective father, a loving mother. Together they presented their son and a future king to the world. He was followed by Princess Charlotte in 2015 and Prince Louis in 2018. Kate perfectly balanced motherhood with all her royal duties, remaining a visible and approachable figure in the public eye. Her calm nature, incredible fashion sense, and deep focus on family won over millions across the globe. But it was never all about appearances for Kate. In reality, her passion for charity work has always been a core part of who she is. Long before becoming a royal, she curated a photography exhibit for UNICEF and helped organise fundraisers like the Boodles Boxing Ball. After her wedding, her impact grew. In 2011, she and William launched a wedding gift fund through the Royal Foundation, which supported 26 charities across many different sectors. By 2012, the foundation was renamed to reflect her growing role and is now known as the Royal Foundation of the Prince and Princess of Wales. Kate's royal initiatives focus on mental health, early childhood development, and family well-being. Her Shaping Us campaign, launched in recent years, is designed to emphasise the critical importance of the first 5 years of life. Her work shows a long-term vision for social change rooted in compassion science and real community engagement. But beyond her philanthropy, Kate has become a global fashion icon, constantly appearing on Best Dressed lists with a signature style that's both elegant and somehow relatable. Designers like Alexander McQueen, Jenny Packham, and Catherine Walker are her absolute favourites. They call it the Kate Middleton effect, where outfits she wears sell out in minutes, boosting the British fashion industry by an estimated £1 billion every year. But despite her fame, Kate was about to face one of her greatest challenges. In early 2024, Kensington Palace announced she'd had planned abdominal surgery for an undisclosed condition and would disappear from public life until after Easter. Her absence sparked a firestorm of speculation, which intensified when Prince William suddenly backed out of a major royal appearance. Then, on March 22nd, Kate addressed the world in a moving video revealing that tests after the surgery had tragically uncovered cancer. She started chemotherapy back in February and asked for privacy while she recovered. Her admission unleashed a wave of support from every corner of the globe. Still in classic Kate fashion, she remained focused on her roles as a mother and a royal. She even made a surprise return in June 2024, trooping the colour. It was a powerful moment, reassuring the public of her incredible strength and resilience. In a letter that followed, she confirmed she was still undergoing treatment but remained completely committed to her family and her duties. Months later in September, a new video from Kensington Palace delivered the news. Everyone was praying for. Kate had officially completed chemotherapy. Her cancer was in remission. She resumed her royal engagements not long after, including a joint appearance with William meeting families of the victims from the horrific Southport stabbing. This was a deeply symbolic moment which reflected her unwavering compassion and strength even in the face of such adversity. Today, Kate Middleton is a true pillar of strength in the monarchy, a modern royal who embodies elegance without the arrogance and a sense of duty without all the drama. She's been praised by journalists like CAMILLA omg as the monarchy's greatest asset and the jewel in its crown. Her former private secretary Jamie Lowther Pinkerton once said that she never does things for PR headlines. She simply does what she believes to be right, and that supposedly is why Queen Elizabeth II wanted her to be Queen Consort instead of Camilla. However, as the royal family continues to deal with its complex relationships and public image, the intertwined sagas of Queen Camilla, Princess Anne and Kate Middleton truly highlight the ongoing evolution of the modern monarchy. With each new scandalous revelation, the legacy of past feuds and rivalries shapes the present, creating a dynamic story that has the entire world watching. This royal rollercoaster shows no signs of slowing down, reminding all of us that the drama and the intrigue of royal life are far from over. As we watch these famous figures adapt and evolve, the question is, how will their own stories continue to unfold in the ever-changing landscape of the British monarchy? Will Anne and Camilla ever truly make peace? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And remember to like, share and subscribe for more. Also, be sure to click the following video that's now on your screen. You are definitely going to enjoy it.